We're diving on deep to a great conversation with the Port of Shelton. Got Wendy Smith and Dick Taylor on the air with me. Good morning, gang.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Great. Look at this day today. It was beautiful at my house.
Okay.
At 7 o'clock this morning, the sun was shining. It was bright and clear.
At least it's not like it's been the last couple of days with snow. How's the everything been for the port?
The airport. I got out there first thing in the morning, and it was like the snowstorm hit, and it never stopped. We had our commission meeting at 2 p.m., and I think that just then the rain kind of mixed with the snow. We had an accumulation. We still have snow all over the place.
Gosh.
It was crazy.
Those crews out there working hard to make things.
And they weren't because the rain was coming at 10.
Yeah.
And so about 11 they started plowing roads. So,
man,
it was crazy.
Well, you got a good crew up there working hard.
Yeah, they are.
Great crew.
They are.
Great crew.
Also working hard at a meeting. You guys had your meeting yesterday. What'd you talk about?
We had our regular commission meeting. We talked about, we had the insurance, our risk pool manager talk to us. Endurus is the name of the company, is our risk pool. And we talked, we're going to get the North Dock 100% repairs, 100% covered.
Oh, good, yeah.
The South Dock probably 50%.
Oh, no, he doesn't know. He's still analyzing South.
But it may be around 50, he said, I thought.
No, that was Johns Prairie Roofing.
Oh, Johns Prairie Roofing, okay.
Is 50.
Is 50,
okay.
More.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it's moving along.
Good.
And which is, we had planned in our budget to pay for those things.
Oh,
so if we get anything on them,
that's great.
We're better off.
Yeah.
We're better
the
off.
South Dock, we had, because we're in kind of a mix of getting permits currently, and so the South Dock, we had budgeted to build and have the construction next year, so that would hit our budget next year, but anything is bonus.
Yeah.
At this point,
wow, that's great. And great for the ratepayers, taxpayers in the district.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
for
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Huh, that's good news.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. He was supposed to, of course, they're based in Spokane, and he was supposed to come to the meeting, but Spokane, like us,
no,
he couldn't get out.
He couldn't get over the pass.
He couldn't get in here either.
So he called in instead. But yeah, it was good information and really good news to us. So yeah.
Other things you guys have been working on, the former fairgrounds. What's the progress with this?
Well, we started some discussions. We haven't started doing anything with it yet, but we, it's designated to be aeronautical related businesses there. And so we've been talking about it. We talked about it at our retreat, that we need to come up with a vision to what do we really want to do with that, and what would it look like. And so we talked about that a little bit yesterday, and maybe using a local firm to come up with a conceptual idea, design for what that property could look like as an aviation-related business park. And so we're looking at that, and to do that, of course, we're going to have to surplus the buildings that are already there. And clean that up and get it set up. So we're starting those discussions right now.
Okay.
To move forward. And I think maybe, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah. It'll take, the process for surplus is its own, and it'll take some time. You got to declare it surplus, have a public hearing, take comments and all that.
Yeah.
So that in itself, advertising and everything else takes probably a couple months. So if we start, in the next few weeks on that, then we can get that process done. And then, our hope is that we don't have to pay to take those buildings down.
Yeah, we'll contract them out. Yeah.
That we'll contract, and there'll be enough salvage value.
Yeah,
there'll be enough memory value, to people and entities that will hopefully get it down for free. If we made money, fine. We will have demolition permits, that kind of thing, to handle through the county. But other than that, it should be. And of course, there's always the fire department, and they could do some sort of a burning effort. I mean, there's different ways we
for
can
training
do this. So,
purposes, stuff like that.
Yeah, so we're bouncing around a lot of things, but the hope is that we won't have to pay to do that, and then we'll just we're thinking maybe even going after a little more curb funding.
Yeah, curb's great.
That is a planning.
We know how to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're getting good at this. But they do planning grants, and you get up to $50,000. You pay a match, but a planning grant to plan that, to do a study on it, draw the drawings, that kind of thing, and that might be the route to go. And then we've got that in our, in our portfolio to be able to sell that to potential.
Are there any other ports or areas in the state that you have seen them use an area deemed aeronautical and what they have put on it? Do you know of any other ports or just properties in the state and what they've used?
Sure.
For sure. There's airports all throughout the state. I think the difference with us, because you can look at Port of Seattle, the difference for them is that they're a international airport. We're a general aviation airport, hoping to grow to be
Olympia has
more
a
commercial.
similar.
Olympia has some business parks near. It's common. It's definitely common. I think you see hotels pop up in those areas as well because of the tourists. So it depends on the type of airport, but these can be parts related, and an aviation park to me could be integrated with other businesses that are real peripheral to that. So I don't think that every single business has to be putting parts of airplanes together or something like that. I think it could be
services. It could be anything.
Absolutely.
Maybe even a flight museum.
Yep.
Could be.
Yep.
Could be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big lot of land up there, former fairgrounds.
Yeah, and if you think about, it's not just where the buildings lie, it's all that parking, which is flat, great land, and eventually, I think, if once the Hall Equities property, builds out and that, it's just going to be this, kind of attractive expansion of the industrial and the aeronautical area. So I think it'll be a great.
And we did talk to Hall Equities about that on that very subject.
Yeah.
So and he was amenable to it, and it's all conceptual and pie in the sky at this point. But the ideas are there.
Yep.
And let's plant the seed.
Yeah, for sure.
And go for there. So
the other thing too that's nice is it's so close to the downtown Shelton area.
Right.
It's right there, as opposed to you fly into Olympia. It takes 20 minutes maybe to get to downtown and things like that.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. And how are your upcoming new neighbors, the Tractor Supply Store? How's that looking?
Man,
looking muddy.
It changes.
They're putting some foundation work in now.
They've got their forms all set. They are working I would imagine they're opening this summer.
Wow.
No
that's what it looks like.
That'd
the
be great.
building will go up quick, I'm
Even
sure.
in the crazy weather, they're out there doing
working.
their stuff every day. But yeah, it's exciting to watch. And we're kind of speculating that possibly Department of Transportation isn't going to want them to enter and exit off of 101. So we're kind of speculating that they're probably going to have to use port property for that. So we're kind of looking ahead at that and starting to figure out, how that would look and how that would work. So,
good news.
Yeah.
Things are on the up and up, it sounds like.
Things are.
Moving on.
Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith from the Port of Shelton, thank you so much as we surface on out of here this morning.